Well, hello again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Two Tutors Talking with your host, Audrey Codner. And I just wanted to introduce as much as another featured person. So you're not just going to get me today, another featured tutor that is expanding her horizons and actually doing great things for our today's youth. As we all know, we all started school and we're all trying to figure this lovely thing called school out and trying to get our basic routines. So I would love to introduce to you Miss Letrice Osarenkhoe. Hi, Letrice.
Hello, how's everyone that's watching?
Well, welcome to Two Tutors Talking. And I just really appreciate all the stuff that you're doing with your students. And I really want you to kind of give us just a small background of who you are and what are you doing.
Okay, thank you so much for even having me. I have to say that first, right? Okay, so I'm actually the CEO of Love2Learn Tutoring LLC, which is an online tutoring company. I am the one that runs the day in and day out. I also have someone that helps me dealing with the admin part a few times a week. Nothing like better than family, right? We love our family. So I have been tutoring for a couple of years now. I actually started off subbing before I started tutoring. I actually loved it so much in the elementary realm, right? Elementary
Okay.
kids are so much fun. And then kind of jumped into tutoring. So I didn't want to be a full on teacher, you know. That I know full on teachers actually have to deal with a lot, politics, things of that nature of the school system. And I kind of saw some of it while I was in a certain county. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. So I am a tutor and I love being a tutor. So I actually started off tutoring in a tutoring company, right? I had my
Okay.
own classroom. I was doing one on ones, group tutoring, and I loved it all. But most definitely, I knew when I would go and branch off on my own, I wanted one on one.
Okay.
So that leads fast forward, 7 years later, and here I am with my own company. So yes, I absolutely love it. But that's where I am. That's where I came from. I am married, and I actually live in the beautiful state of Florida. Um, but yes, I tutor in the afternoons after school, right? So and my schedule runs from 4:30 to 7:30 ish. So sometimes I might run over with certain students because we want to make sure that we give it back to our community. It's not all about, oh, I need to tutor you this, and this, right? I
Right.
also want to make sure that when I'm dealing with my students, they actually know I care. So sometimes, I have a student that might be going through something and they'd be like, "Oh, Miss O, can we stay on? I kind of want to ask your opinion about something, this, and that." And I said, "Sure, why not?" If I have a student right after, I let them know, like, "Hey, let's do like maybe like 3 minutes, and then we could pick this back up after I get off with that student." So my students, especially here, that's in my town, they know I care. I go to their schools and see different things and go to parent teacher conferences and things of that nature. But yeah, that's where I'm at in my life right now. So
All right.
yeah,
Let's sum it all up right here.
yeah, I could go on.
Right? Well, but here's the thing. Because let's start from the very beginning. Now, I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, I was sub and that was about it. No, you were in the trenches too, because trust me, you got like the bulk of it in a short amount of time. So, like with us being in the classroom with our classrooms, normally our kids kind of know our routine, but they had to know your routine in a matter of seconds
Mhm.
because you have some of those that they can try to run through, but I don't think they were trying to run through on you. So, you know, because that's what they tried to do.
Yeah.
But if you guys are here for the live, can you just go ahead and hit hashtag live? Or if you're here for the replay, hit hashtag replay because it helps with the algorithm. So and if you have any kind of comments, please put them in there. I know there's a couple people that are watching. So you've mentioned quite a bit, what you actually do with your clients and what are you actually seeing basically in your sessions. Now, you kind of mentioned that, some people say, all right, it's over for an hour. we're one and done, and that's it.
Mhm.
But that's where we're very similar
Mhm.
because we don't like to lead the session with the child feeling lost and confused. We still want to say, all right, let's try one more problem. Or,
Mhm.
okay, let's try another problem. Now you're going to do it. You're going to walk me through it. So that's where I feel that we are very much aligned when it
Mhm.
comes to that. But since the school year is starting, what are you kind of anticipating seeing like from kids coming in?
You know what? I'm seeing parents panicking. Most definitely after September. Like in that fourth week of September, I see parents, hey, I need a tutor. I need this, I need that. I've had situations in the past where I've actually had to turn people away, but I was able to find tutors for them and pass on the love. Yes, I know that a lot of tutors actually have like callback lists and things of that natures, but I
Mhm.
tend to reach out to other tutors and see about getting that child help right then, right?
Right, right,
So normally that panic, and I have a parent that actually panicked before school. It's like, look, I might need your help. I'm gonna give her about 2 weeks in school. But
right.
besides that, if I start to see that her testing is looking some type of way, oh, we're calling. And sure enough, we start this week, right? So
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, don't wait. Like get the
Yeah.
tutor. That is your educational coach for your
Right.
child. It's investment, into your child, So I see parents panic. They panic,
Mhm.
and we have parents, even want to, fight us on the cost, right? Like, so we know our worth. Okay.
Right.
I didn't go to school and get all these degrees and certificates for nothing, so, that's a conversation in its own too. But the
Mhm.
panic, I see the panicking happening. I
Right.
come across different conversations. People stopping me in Walmart because I actually have advertisement on my car too, right? So I had a
Mhm.
whole conversation with a lady yesterday, and she was like, "I don't know. I think he needs. Don't wait. Like even if it's not
Right.
me, don't wait until
Right.
oh, my child might not pass their grade if they don't
Right.
make this, this number, this particular magical number by this time, So when it comes down to testing, so that's basically what I'm seeing.
Right.
People are kind of panicking, but kind of, I don't want to pay the money. You might need to.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's that panic, that hesitation.
Mhm.
Some people are thinking, all right, well, AI is coming out. I can just like basically use AI. So there's a lot of companies nowadays that are starting to do like an AI version of a tutor. But here's the thing, you have to know what to put into the system in
Exactly.
order for you, and also have a good idea what's supposed to come out in
Exactly.
order to use that AI. So a lot of people are like, I'm starting to see some parents are saying, well, I can just go on this software and get it. And I'm like, okay, but can you ask the software questions?
Okay.
Can you get those clarifying questions? Can you get that immediate feedback? Can you actually have your say we're both math, so we have an understanding. So say we're working on fractions or we're working on, let's say, integers. So that kind of goes with both ends. We're
Mhm.
looking at integers, and then all of a sudden your child gets like, well, I don't know if it should be a negative or a positive. And of course, the computer is going to tell you, well, these are the rules. Ba, 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 ba. But it doesn't make sense to them because remember, if they're at that age when they're just being introduced to positive and negative numbers, they haven't seen a negative number in their life.
Exactly.
So, but you have to put it in terms that they understand. For me, it's always money. I'll be like,
Mhm.
all right, you owe me $5. So
Right.
that'll be negative. I'm negative $5. Now you owe me because for some reason I wanted to loan you $2 more.
Mhm.
How much do you owe me? They're like, oh, 7. So it'll be -7. Oh, I get it.
Mhm.
That can't come from a software. That's hard to come from AI
Yeah.
unless you put that thought into AI's head in order to get it generated. So when it comes to the pricing, it's just like you said, it's that investment.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't see it as like, okay, you're going to be in an investment, stay in for a little bit, but you don't have to be with us forever.
Exactly.
We're just trying to get that pathway. So when it comes down to the whole thing of tutoring, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at you got a person that can help guide your child. That's adding almost like a translator to the
Mm-hmm.
teachers, because sometimes the teachers, they know it, and you'll have some teachers that know it, but they can't teach it to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't know their teaching style until you really, like you said, a good couple of weeks.
Exactly.
A 1 week, no more than 2 weeks. Because
Mm-hmm.
at that time, now your kid is floundering. And then all of a sudden, it's a lot larger of a problem than what you started off with.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So I was
Yeah.
like doing a little translating.
But this is the thing too. Parents, some parents don't really understand that AI, computer systems, software, those things don't have empathy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got a new student the other day, right? We started, it was our first day. His camera wasn't on. And I was like,
Mm,
I have to see your face. I have to get to know
right.
you, interact with
Right.
you. And, discussing it with the mother, please make sure that his camera works before tutoring session because I need
Right.
to be able to see his face, read his body language. I need that.
Exactly.
Right. So make that eye to eye contact. Yes, we're over a computer, but I'm one of those people I tend to talk with my hands. I tend
Mhm.
to give my students virtual high fives and virtual hugs, so they know that somebody actually cares, right?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
they are one of 20 in a classroom or one of 19 or 15 if you're lucky, right?
Right.
But are they getting that specialized attention, one-on-one, that empathy from someone that understands what they're going through? I'm a
Mhm.
storyteller. Most of my students, I literally tell a story like, hey, if Johnny had 5 apples and Peggy had 6, that type thing. Or I
Right.
relate it to something that's real world dealing with them. So if my kid likes basketball, I relate things to basketball games and scores and things of that nature.
Mhm.
If my kid is into cheerleading, same thing. If you do the somersault or do this or do that, how many times I relate real life things to them. So it comes up in their brain when they're in class, like, hey, Miss O said A, B, and C, and I remember
Right.
this because of how she put it in words, dealing and pertaining
Exactly.
to my life. Yeah. So
So when do you have time to make that connection, to understand what is their interest? Like when do you actually do that?
you know what? I do that during the first session. Like if it's not during the first session, because some parents they don't want their child coming to the actual consultation. I actually like the child to come to the
Mhm.
consultation.
That's
I
good.
need to make sure that you and your child is a good fit. You know, yes, I need money to feed myself. I need money to support my family, right? But I
Mhm.
also care about if it's going to be a good fit. There's parents I've actually turned away because I know we're not going to be a good fit. I
Mhm.
need parents to be on board with me. Like if I tell you, hey, I need this from your school, from their teacher directly, so I can see exactly what they're going through week by week by week. So I make sure
Mhm.
that I am adequately prepared for them for that max hour, then I need for you to work with me.
Right.
So
Right.
I can tell right away if I'm not a good fit for someone. And I
Yep.
actually
Yep.
do charge a consultation fee. I will refund you your fee back because I'm adamant about that. It has to be a good fit. If I'm not a good fit based off of what I know about certain tutors and how I
Mhm.
feel about you, you might be a better fit for them. I would suggest them, you know. So, someone came to me and was like, oh, Miss O, I have a student that needs this type of care dealing with tutoring. Do you know anybody that deals with that? Right. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I know people. Like, just give me about 30 minutes. I'll send over a list to you. I'll find somebody. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. There was also something that was said because I know there's a couple tutors that's here listening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so where is she? Here she go. So we definitely have Lynette that's over here listening live on in my Facebook group. So one thing you mentioned about a consultation fee.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of tutors, they may or may not do this, but I know there's a lot of tutors that's listening. Like, tell me a little bit more about that consultation fee.
Look, I have family just like everybody else. I have a life outside of tutor like everybody else. My time is very precious to me. One time I got burned by one family. I spent a couple hours with them with twin girls, right? And come to find out at the end of that, she was like, "Oh, I can't afford that. We're not going to do that." Even when the amount was discussed, so when it was time to
Mhm.
pay in advance, please make sure you get your money in advance. She was like, "No, I can't do that." Right? And I was just like, "Never again." I was like, "Consultation fee." Because my time is worth it, you know? And
Mhm.
the thing about my consultation fee, if you sign on literally in the next 24 hours, you get it right back. So I know that when I'm talking to somebody, I'm not wasting my time. This they really
Mhm.
want this, they really need this because they're not going to waste their money in the
Right.
for the consultation fee. So I think it's a win-win for both sides.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Because it's as all some tutors I was talking to a couple people yesterday that when it comes down to naming their price, it's always like, oh, well, I worry about what other people are putting in their pockets and what they can afford. And we're like, you don't know what they
Mhm.
can or can't afford. You don't know what their pricing is. You really have to understand your worth, like you
Mhm.
said. Know your worth and then also know your time. It's your business.
Mhm.
If you feel like doing a consultation fee, do the consultation fee. You used your experience to make it into something that, all right, this is something that's going to be a part of my business plan. This is definitely in my terms and conditions and this is how I move on. If
Mhm.
that works for you, great, do it. If you're like, I'm not sure, I don't have that problem, okay, then don't do it. But at least you know it is an option. And at least that's why I do this two tutors talking, because if you notice, every tutor is not exactly the same. And
No.
I'm not talking about grade levels. I'm talking not talking about skill level. I'm
Mhm.
talking about how they present themselves, how they run their business, where they're located, what are they doing, all that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the premise of why I'm doing the two tutors talking, so people have a good idea. So again, if you are watching it, hashtag live. If you're watching a replay, hashtag replay to help with the algorithm. And if you have any, why am I singing everything? Because there's a microphone in
I
front of me.
love it.
Let me
I'm
calm it down.
loving it.
Uh,
I love it. Love it. Love it.
let
Love
me blah.
it.
Let me go. But if you guys have any comments, go ahead and put them in there. So while we're doing this, we're kind of getting close to the end. What are some upcoming attractions that's happening in your business?
Oh, upcoming attractions. So literally, we have the holidays coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving out gifts actually to my parents if they can bring someone on during the holidays. So holidays technically starting in Thanksgiving, December.
Okay.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of my clientele are referral based. They are because I have those incentives dealing with my parents if, hey, you bring somebody. But this year, I most definitely around the holidays, I'm actually bringing more to the table when it comes down to giving. If
Okay.
you're actually bring on a family and they sign up and things of that nature. So that's basically what's
Nice.
going on. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, I don't have nothing else
Well,
like in particular, not right now off the top of my head, but holiday wise,
uh-huh.
yeah, holiday wise, that's what I'm doing.
But that's good because then you're thinking ahead. So you're
Yeah.
not waiting until November to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do something for the holidays. Because
Hmm.
a lot of tutors generally tend to do that because before you know it, these holidays are coming quick. I
Hmm.
mean, like, what happened to the summer? Um, so
Yeah.
Definitely have a person says live. So glad I bumped into this. All right,
Welcome.
excellent. I
Welcome.
know. And then we have one person that's saying, thanks for sharing that. Not a problem.
Mhm,
Because here's the thing, a lot of people are, schools started, like for us in Maryland,
mhm.
Maine started yesterday. Maryland started on Monday. So it seems like right now, at this point in time, almost all the schools in the US should have already started by
Oh
now. I
yeah.
don't think
Oh
anyone else is
yeah. In
waiting
my area,
until
it's been almost a
after the holiday. There might be a couple. Um, but for the most part, schools are happening. You're going to need some clientele. You know that your kid struggles
mm-hmm.
because you see your child every day. Don't ignore it. Like we're saying, don't wait. Get yourself a tutor. Now, private tutors, some of them may cost a lot, but the only way that you know who is going to be right is to do some of those meet and greets, to do those consultations. Okay, some people are doing free consultations, some people are doing paid consultations, but no matter what, find the right person that's a right fit for your child as opposed to a right fit for that tutor. All right. So, if you definitely want to reach out my Letrice, here is her email. I know. Boom. Here's her email. Go ahead. Love2Learn Tutoring LLC at gmail.com. Definitely reach out to her. And I want to make the suggestion reach out as soon as possible because I have a feeling that she's going to be fully booked in a few
Ooh.
days. Like real talk. If this keeps going, it's going to be in a few days. Now, if you are a tutor, especially a math tutor, and you are looking for like a Facebook home, something, a place that we're going to have discussions, you're going to have questions and answers. I'm going to have some other things I'm putting together. You can join my Facebook group from the classroom to online tutoring, which is a virtual community. We're going to be doing some big things soon because I've been planning a lot yesterday. And coming up for our next Two Tutors Talking for next week, we have Miss Vandana Jose. She is a math and chemistry teacher all the way from India. So she's going to share with us what her plans are, how's her tutoring sessions are going well, and we're going to take it from there. So once again, thank you so much. Let me put all your full info, Latrice. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Again, if you have questions or if you're interested in being part of Two Tutors Talking, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, Audrey Codner or ACG Math Tutoring, and we will take it from there. All
Yeah.
right. Have a great day. Bye now.